Alright, so let's talk about The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I saw the trailer. I thought this looks as though it's going to be awesome. And sure enough, it was awesome. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. was everything I thought it was going to be. I went in there with high expectations. Tried to go in cold though, didn't really look into it. The only thing I'd seen was the trailer. That was enough for me. But still went in with high expectations. Those expectations were met. Yeah, this movie, highly recommended. It's been a great year for movies. Now, got off to a shaky start, but hey, it's a great year. Yeah, of course, movie stars Henry Cavill, Armie Hammer, Jared Harris, and Hugh Grant. Of course, a remake of the original TV show starring Robert Vaughn. Now that is something I would love to talk about. Henry Cavill as Napoleon Solo, obviously playing Robert Vaughn's part. He has got his Robert Vaughn impression down, in terms of his line delivery. He's got the right look as well, but the way he delivers his lines in this movie, you can hear that Robert Vaughn type voice coming through, and it sounds absolutely brilliant. It's fantastic. And like I say, the way Henry Cavill looks the part in this, he looks brilliant, physically, of course, couldn't be in better shape. The costumes, his wardrobe in this movie, all the different tailored suits he wears, absolutely fantastic. Armie Hammer is really good as well. He's got that really intense thing going on. He's very, very good. Both of them, you always want have that thing, when you're supposed to have two main characters like a buddy movie. You think, is the film going to be more centered on one than the other? Admittedly, this movie, no. It's quite refreshing actually, because both Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer, it's completely equal. They're treated as equals. It's one isn't favoured over the other. They both get ton of screen time each. They both get the super cool moments throughout the film. They each get their opportunity to shine, and that was really good. And they do work well together. The on-screen chemistry between the two, absolutely brilliant. So of course the premise is really simple. The trailer, what you see in the trailer is, it's not misleading at all. US is teaming up with Russia to stop the creation of an atomic bomb. Of course, set in the early 60s. As the show was, of course, it's nice that they kept that and didn't try to modernise it, set it in the present day. Really simple plot, but effective, not overly complicated. So it's, simple, it's best not to overcomplicate. Don't complicate things beyond necessity. That's the thing. If you try and have an overly complex plot, you do risk alienating a lot of viewers. But that doesn't happen here. It's a good old 60s spy movie with some great action and really great comedy as well. Guy Ritchie, he's brought to this the magic that he brought to Sherlock Holmes. If you loved the two Sherlock Holmes movies, you'll really dig this movie. Like I say, the action, really good action, and the comedy element that was there in Sherlock Holmes, that's been brought over to this as well, and it really works. You can tell it's a point I've been making about quite a few movies this year, but this is another good example. This movie, it doesn't feel like a cash grab. It feels as though everyone involved was a fan of the original, and they wanted to make the best film that they could. Like, it was a bit of a passion project. Of course, Guy Ritchie, in addition to directing, he was involved in the writing of it as well, so it's probably a real passion project for him. But everyone involved, you get the feeling that they all brought their A game. So the acting in it's brilliant, really simple but effective plot. I want to talk about the visuals of the movie as well. This movie is stunning. It's the way they've recreated the 60s setting. It looks really good, you know, in terms of the costumes, the hairstyling, the set designs, you know, the decorations used, the buildings, the cars that are in the movie. Everything looks authentic and it looks pristine. And one of the things I like as well, it looks naturally like the early 60s. It's not as if the filmmakers are smacking you over the head saying, hey, it's the early 60s, can you tell? Can you see? Can you see all the early 60s glory? No, it's natural, you know, like in the ice storm. It's 1973. It feels like 1973. It doesn't feel as though you've been smacked over the head. Even The Conjuring, it's 1971. It feels like it's 1971. It's natural again, not being smacked over. Look, a lava lamp. It's 1971. Even in the ice storm as well, you know. Nothing so glaringly 70s. Of course, you have that in X-Men Days of Future Past. Look, the first thing Hugh Jackman sees when he goes back to 1973, a lava lamp. Oh, he's on a waterbed too. Ho ho ho. But you can forgive the X-Men because it's a comic book movie. You expect that from the X-Men. But this, you know, you'd hope for more subtlety and you do get it. But yeah, the costume designs, the props, the interior design of the buildings, the wardrobes, outfits, hairstyles. The lead villain in this movie is a female, you know, female mastermind, a femme fatale, as she's been referred to, the mastermind behind the creation of this whole atomic bomb. She looks exactly like something out of a 1960s fashion magazine. She looks stunning, you know. So yeah, you can tell like everyone, you know, the crew creating this whole look. They really did a fantastic job, and to complement that, they have a brilliant soundtrack as well. Sweet 60s style soundtrack, which is brilliant, you know, and that's a combination of the original music score they've used and also the actual songs they've used in the movie, you know, both very, very good. Of course, the locations they've used, spectacular, you know, they do globe hot trot a bit, you know, going from one place to another. All the locations, brilliant. Yeah, so if you look interested in the visuals of the film, you won't be disappointed. You know, you can see the money on screen, great production values, and the film really benefits from that. Interesting, one little thing I did love, when you first see Henry Cavill, because the film opens up in Berlin at Checkpoint Charlie, Henry Cavill's crossing the checkpoint, he's got, you know, he's crossing the security line, and when you first see him, the first shot of him is filmed with this 60s camera, you know, like you can tell by the picture quality, the colour of it, you know, it's just 60s camera they're using, and it genuinely feels like it's a proper 60s camera. It's not just some computer effect they've added onto it, you know, in post-production. No, it looks as though they've used a genuine 60s camera, and it looks spectacular. Granted, after that, obviously, it switches to the modern cameras, you know, what you see all over now, you know, the HD, like state-of-the-art cameras, and it stays like that for the duration of the movie. But that one little shot we got when we first see Henry Cavill, it was a nice little touch. Yeah, so I highly recommend this movie. There is one scene I'd like to talk about which does stand out because of how dark it got. It got quite disturbing because, of course, Henry Cavill ultimately, his cover gets blown and he gets captured and interrogated, and we have this torture sequence in which he's strapped to effectively an electric chair. And apparently, one of the guy doing the interrogation, he's a former Nazi, and you know, he used to be a doctor in the death camps, you know, effectively a Dr. Mengele type, not Mengele himself, but that, you know, in the same vein, the same idea. Whether this was an actual person or not, I'm not sure, but you know, or whether it was based on Mengele. You know, you can see the inspiration there. But this scene's horrifying because how it starts off, obviously Cavill's strapped to the chair, the Nazi doctor's there, and then also you have our lead villain, the femme fatale, and she then leaves, you know, so it's just Cavill and the doctor in the room. Anyway, the lights go out, and then the doctor just puts this one light, so obviously the main light's gone out, and then you've just got this small light from the bulb, you know, so there's just enough light to see, so they can see each other, and just, you know, in like a small perimeter around them. And then this is where things start to get disturbing, because the tone, it's very subtle, but the tone just changes. Everything goes quiet, and the doctor pulls out this folder, and it's a portfolio, and he takes Henry Cavill through, and it's got pictures of all the experiments he conducted on the Jewish prisoners in the death camp. Well, not just Jewish, you know, anyone who didn't fit into the Nazis, you know, the Nazis' game plan, you know, who didn't fit in with their program, you know, obviously whoever happened to get thrown into the death camps, and you know, whoever he experimented on. There's picture after picture after picture, page after page, all these horrific experiments, and then we get to the back of the folder, and there's a whole page blank, and he says, you know, Mr. Solo, this whole page is going to be dedicated to you. Jesus Christ! Honestly, it's very dark, that little bit, and it's very intense. And you do, when you watch this movie, that's tough. You start to feel genuinely uneasy. It's a very unnerving scene. So when you watch the movie, it's one of the standout scenes of the film. That little bit, but it's really effective. Works really well. But yeah. Just to wrap up, I'd like to say I don't want to give anything away. Going cold, that's the best advice I can give you. Hugh Grant, let's just mention him. Hugh Grant pops up in this movie. He's in it for about 15-20 minutes. He's a lot of fun. He really is so much fun. It's not. I mean, I do like Hugh Grant, but yeah, he's very good in this. And Jared Harris as well. It was nice to see him in the film. He's very good. So yeah. Them two, Jared Harris and Hugh Grant, it was nice to see them in the film, and they really bring a nice touch to the film as well, you know. Like I say, supporting characters, but yeah, they do really add something to the film, I thought. But yeah, I recommend this film. I think it'd be a fantastic companion piece to go with Kingsman. Yeah, that's what I felt when I was watching it. But yeah. Highly recommended. If you're debating whether to go see it, I hope this review's helped. I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time. Admittedly, I've heard other people review it, and I've heard them say, you know, it was enjoyable, but it wasn't great. I disagree. I think this movie is genuinely something special. I think those people who say it was just enjoyable, you know, not bad, but nothing special, I disagree with that. I think this genuinely is, you know, something that's above and beyond. You know what I mean? It's a standout film. It lived up to my expectations. So yeah, highly recommended. And if you're debating whether to go see it, I hope this review's helped. If you do decide to go see it, I hope you enjoy it. And if you have seen the film already, I hope you agree with some of the points that I've made. That brings this to a close, and thank you all for sticking with me. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Thank you, everyone.